As you board, please move across your car to make room for everyone, and kindly offer available seating to those needing special assistance.
Hey, howdy, hey, and welcome to another episode of Disney Assembled. I'm Troy,
And I'm Mimi.
and we are your happy little father-daughter podcast, here to create joy and share our love for all things Disney.
Disney Assembled is sponsored by our patrons over on Patreon. If you would like to join them, check out patreon.com/DisneyAssembled.
Yes, please do. Membership starts as little as $2 a month, and with that, you get access to all the exclusive patron-only content. And if you're watching on YouTube, if we even put this on YouTube, I got a haircut this week. So
Yes,
there
you did.
go.
Looks great.
Looking good. And I'm repping some of the Disney Assembled merch, property of Big Thunder Mountain Company t-shirt. So go to our store.
I love
Maybe I'll
it.
tell you how to do that at the end of the show, right?
Heck yeah.
All that stuff. I like this shirt.
It's a good shirt.
It's a brown t-shirt. It's pretty cool. I even made like a little background back here a little bit. I got Grogu and the flag. I got
No,
Avengers poster.
I love it. I bought that
So-
poster.
You did. Yeah, it's all good. What's been going on with you?
Not much. It's been kind of like an average week, I'd say. But my birthday was on Tuesday the 24th. My 19th birthday. So that's pretty crazy. That was like the main event. I
Cool.
would say, of the week, and I got to go out to dinner with my friends, and Cody came to visit, and that was really awesome. But yeah,
That's awesome.
overall, pretty good.
Love it. Love it. Should we continue to be your happy little father-daughter podcast? You're not little anymore.
Mhm.
You're 19. We started, you were what? 15, 14?
14.
Oh my goodness.
I know,
can't
isn't that
believe it.
crazy?
That is crazy. Maybe we need nicknames
What
for
do you
the
mean?
show. Like we should have like nicknames. Like I can be Papa Rope Dropper.
Mm,
Papa
I don't
Rope
know
Dropper.
about that.
You can be Mimi Mouse.
Well, I already have a nickname.
What is it?
Mimi is my nickname. Mimi is not my
Right.
real name, guys.
No, I know, but you can have like a cool podcast name, like the Mimi Mouse. No,
Maybe.
maybe. You don't like
Maybe.
Papa Rope Dropper?
No.
Because I'm the Papa. No.
No.
How about the Troy Story?
No.
No. Neither one of those work. All right.
I
I guess we'll
don't
just
think
be.
so, no.
Guess we'll just be Troy and Mimi
Troy
forever.
Mimi.
Forever. Right. For the first time in
Whatever.
forever. All right.
Major loser.
We have a fun show, and we're recording this late, so I want to apologize to our listeners. It is Saturday, September 28th. And usually when Mimi, before college, BC, like Mimi, Disney Assembled BC, before college,
DC.
we would put out a show every Monday. Because
Sunday.
we would record, well, Sunday night, but it would appear on most people's feeds on Monday morning, but it comes out on Sunday night. So that was fine, and we put out a show every week. And we knew that when you went off to college, the scheduling of our recording time was going to be varied.
Different.
Right.
Yeah.
Very different, very varied. And so we've really tried. I mean, I was sick this week, and you may even notice it in my voice, which is more nasally than usual. I have a very nasally voice. I recognize
Yeah,
that.
that's really what happened this
Yeah.
week. You were sick, and so when I was available to record, you were not.
Right.
It was also a weird week because last weekend was Parents' Weekend, kind of, not really. The
Right.
family came up to visit, and everybody was here, and we went to the football game. But y'all didn't get home until late Sunday night or late Sunday evening, and I am busy on Sunday evenings with church stuff. So, and I have work on Sunday mornings, and y'all were driving, and so we didn't get to record. And then, yeah, and then you were sick. So
Right.
it
We
just
tried.
we did try. This week just really flopped, fell through, and you just got to keep
all
pushing
good.
forward.
Well, here's what I'm going to do for our listeners. This episode, because you have to edit it now. Like I used to edit it before. You have the computer, so you have to do the editing. If we can get this episode out Sunday night, that would be great. I don't know if you're able to edit it in time for me to get it out on Sunday night. So back to
try.
sort of our usual schedule. But I went ahead and downloaded an old episode that's had a decent number of listens from the past. And I think what I'm going to do this week to make up for the fact that the people who love to listen to us didn't get a new show this past week, we have this new show. And then I'm going to do sort of like the best of. I'm going to do a second upload this week, which is sort of a Disney assembled greatest hits episode. And that way we
Sounds
can,
good.
go back to the archives and give everybody 2 episodes. Because I feel bad that we missed one this week, and mostly because I was
Right.
sick. And I want to make sure that we're giving. I mean, listen, we don't have thousands of listeners, right? We should, but we don't,
Mhm.
right? But the people who do, we very, very much appreciate their time, and we don't want them to think that we're, getting sketchy on this. So I'm
Right.
going to try to get 2 episodes out this week, an archived episode and this one. And then also, I know you wanted to talk to me more about some behind the scenes stuff and some other things from my recent trip. We wanted to do that for patrons.
Yes.
So we need to schedule some time to get that patron episode recorded so we can share that with our patron friends. And if for some reason you're not able to do it, which is fine, then maybe I can do like a live on our YouTube channel or so. Because I've been uploading stuff on YouTube. I don't know if you've been noticing this, but some of the video I took of the Mickey's Not So Scary party, the Boo to You parade, I've
Mhm.
been uploading it in segments, the parade, and we've
Hmm.
had some, for us, a
Some
decent number
interaction.
of views, right? So it's been pretty
Mhm.
cool to do that. So either we're going to get an episode up for patrons in the next week or so, or maybe I'll just do a YouTube live or whatever. Also want everybody to know that, well, I don't know if I should let everybody know that I have been invited. I'm going to be a special guest on another podcast
That's
coming up
awesome.
really soon.
Do you wanna maybe
So,
explain why you are the special guest instead of both of
right.
us?
Well, it's because I was at Disney World recently, and um, part of my trip there just so happened to coincide with another big trip that some great podcasters, Dillo's Diz, was having for Frank's 50th birthday. They had a meetup, and it just so happened to coincide with the program that I was there to do. And so
Right.
while I was there, I was able to meet up with them and do the Mickey's Not So Scary party on that
Yeah.
Friday. And
And I was
I've
not
been
there,
invited.
so
Yeah,
it
you
would
weren't there.
be awkward for me to be in on that conversation. It's
Right. So I
time, I
was,
think,
yeah,
to jump into the episode. 7 minutes
yeah.
of housekeeping, time
That's
to move
okay.
forward. That's
We don't
okay.
usually talk too much, so it's okay.
Let's
People will
let's
forgive
sort
us.
of explain what this week's topic looks like. This was your idea,
Okay.
so why don't you
All right.
explain
My idea.
your
Right.
idea?
So I had the idea that you and I would draft 5 Disney intellectual properties that we would build a theme park around. Now, the challenge here is there are intellectual properties that exist in the park and we can use them, but you're building like one park, right? We're
Mhm.
building one park and we want to put 5 IPs in the park. Which 5 would you put in a park? And so we're going to pick our 5, and it could be something that already exists, which is fine. Or it could be an IP that's already in the park, but you would do something different with it. Or maybe an IP that's underused or not used at all in a park that you would add to a park.
Mhm.
And then we will let our listeners and our people who are following us on all the socials let us know who picked the best 5, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of the socials, can I share this other great news from this week?
Yes, please.
Okay. We have a TikTok because we tell people all the time you can get to us on TikTok and watch. We do separate stuff on TikTok. Usually it's me, right? But we do extra Disney fun on TikTok. It's not just the podcast, it's other stuff. We got to our 1,000th follower this week on TikTok. Unbelievable. We had a
That is
flurry of
crazy.
followers in the last couple of weeks, and so we finally got over the 1,000 follower mark. So I was really happy with
Yay!
that. Yeah, good for us.
Small claps.
Yeah, very
Speaking of
small
the small
claps.
claps. Speaking of small claps,
Right?
shall we reveal the answer to the trivia question from last week?
Oh, from last
From
week.
2
Yeah, we
weeks
have to do
ago,
that.
arguably
From
2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, arguably. Well, from the episode we did previous to this one.
Right. Okay.
Right.
The question was, which character from the 100-Acre Wood often refers to Eeyore as Donkey Boy? And it was multiple choice. The answer choices are Tigger, Rabbit, or Roo. And the answer was Tigger.
Yay.
So yes, Sweet Tigger has his little nicknames for everybody, and I think
And
Andrew,
anyone who listens to our show won't be surprised that Andrew got it right. Right.
Right. Small
So
claps for Andrew,
Andrew,
the smartest person we know.
congratulations. The rest of you listeners need to chime in so we can clap for you too. We'd love to announce your name and clap for you. I don't think anyone else answered the question, but
That's okay.
But doing the best we can. We have another question
At the end
of
of
this
the show.
episode. Right.
Boom.
Also found out this week that, a podcast that has been following us recently, a relatively new podcast, but does a good job, is the Mazza's Musings podcast. Chris Mazza is the host of that. I hope I'm saying Mazza. I don't know if it's Mazza or Mazza.
Oh, he's emailed us, hasn't he?
He has emailed us, and I went ahead and subscribed to his little newsletter because he does a newsletter each week. And this week he featured us as part of his newsletter. So
Aww.
he likes to feature podcasts that he thinks deserve a little extra attention. Chris, thank you so much for including us in your newsletter and mentioning us. And in his little article that he wrote, Mimi, he mentioned that the Disney Dad Joke of the Week segment is like becoming, in his mind, like a famous part of our show, like maybe the best part of our show. Which is really sad, right? If our joke is the best part of the show, I don't know what that says about the rest of our show, but we'll take the compliment, right? So thank you, Chris, for that. But he mentioned,
that's good.
I know, but he mentioned it, and I appreciate the mention. But he also sent me an email this week and with another joke, and so we're going to use his dad joke this week for our Disney Dad Joke Week. So are you ready for it?
I am.
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, Disney fans of all sorts, it is time for this week's Disney Dad Joke of the Week. Mimi, why did Pongo and Perdita, from 101 Dalmatians, Pongo and Perdita, why did they tell the puppies to roll around in the soot when they were trying to hide from Cruella?
I don't know why.
Because they didn't want them to be spotted.
That's funny.
You get it?
Because they're already spotted.
Because you can't see the spots.
Dalmatians.
Can't see the spots if they're in the soot, right? They don't want them to be spotted, and they're Dalmatians, and they're spotted. So there you go. Chris, thank you for submitting that joke. I think Chris has submitted a couple of jokes, so I appreciate the interaction. Thank you, Chris. If you would like a joke that you have to submit that we want to read on the show, if we haven't read it yet and it's appropriate for the show, we'd love, as I'm doing this with my hands, to consider doing it. So send us an email, disneycinema@gmail.com, or a message on any of the socials, which are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads.
They're all down here on my little
Right, they're
banner.
all on the little, if you're watching a video.
FB,
we're assuming this video is going to go up on the YouTube channel. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it's there. Mimi has listed them under her name. So follow us on the social, send us a message, and we will.
And if you're old and don't know what that is, it is Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Just shortened. Don't you fret.
Okay, very good.
Okay,
right. Excellent.
I'm so excited to jump into this.
I am too. So we picked 5
IPs build the park around.
Now we're going to have to decide who goes first. I think you should go first.
Okay.
And then you will go first. You'll name one, and then maybe give us
off.
a reason. Give us a reason why that you picked the one that you picked.
Yeah. Okay, so when I'm thinking about, I only have 5 things to build a theme park with. I have to think about all the aspects of a theme park. Obviously, there are attractions, but there's also restaurants and gift shops and restrooms, rest places. And so I've broken it down into 1 food place, 1 gift shop, 1 rest stop, and 2 attractions. That's how I'm thinking about this. Does that make sense?
So the first, so why don't we use that? Why don't we use that? I didn't think about it that way. Why don't we adjust the game? So the first one, so what are your categories? Food?
My category is food, gift, rest, and then 2 attractions. Because you can't just have attractions.
How about a thrill attraction and a dark ride attraction?
I'm just going to leave it blank attraction. That's what I was thinking. Because attractions aren't always just rides.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right. So
I would
go
like
with
to
food
start
first?
Well, I'm going to start with gift shop. And
Okay,
I was originally going to claim the Emporium. I don't know if that counts as an IP or not. Is that what you're thinking?
It has to be like a character.
Like a character. Oh, okay.
A character or a movie or a film or something like that.
I understand. Okay, then I'm going to pick the Sir Mickey's gift shop because that's technically a character and it's a reference to the show. So I'm picking the Sir Mickey's gift shop that already exists in Magic Kingdom.
So you're not going to create a new one. You're just going to take the one that exists in the Magic Kingdom.
Yes, everything else I think is gonna be original, but as for the gift shop, I didn't wanna be super creative with it. I
Okay.
wanted to just keep what works.
Okay, cool. I'm going to come up with an original idea for a gift shop if you don't mind. I'm going to come up
Yeah,
with a
go
new
for it.
one. And I am going to lean into some Toy Story IP here.
Mhm.
And I'm going to, for my gift shop, I'm going to build Al's Toy Barn. So it's
That is
all
so
toys.
smart. That is so
Ah,
smart. I like that one.
yeah. So there we go. I'm going to do Al's Toy Barn, but it's only toys now. There's a payoff. It's only
Mhm,
toys. Like there's no clothes, there's no mugs, there's no
mhm.
pins. It's just toys.
Okay,
But there you go. All right.
okay.
So you picked Sir Mickey's,
I
which
do
is a
pick Sir
really cool
Mickey's.
gift shop. I like that gift
Mhm.
shop a lot.
Yeah, I'm picking
And
Sir Mickey's.
Al Toy Barn. All right. Cool. What category do you want to go to next?
Let's I don't know. I kinda wanna pivot my I haven't thought about this very much at all. Like, I only really came with the categories. I didn't think of any of the IPs beforehand. Um, okay, let's let's do attraction. I have an idea.
All right.
I would like to I'm not totally sure what it looks like yet, but I would like to revisit Stitch having an attraction in my park. I don't necessarily think it'll be Stitch's Great Escape. I want to be something original. I think I'm going to go with the like surfing route and I might do some like water. Ooh, I hit my microphone. I might do some water based like a flume ride attraction potentially. Um with Stitch, or or I might do like a little roller coaster moment with
Okay.
Stitch and Lilo and all of those characters.
I like
So
that
I'm
idea.
claiming Lilo and Stitch.
I like that idea a lot. I think it's a great idea. I am going to I'm going to stick with the with the attraction category,
Mhm,
and I'm going to build a new attraction also, right? And
mhm,
mine's going to be more of I guess a dark ride, maybe a trackless dark ride,
mhm.
but mine's going to be themed after Inside Out. So it's going to be like
Mm,
an Inside Out trackless uh, ride through somebody's
mine.
emotions.
Through
Like
Riley's mind.
basically the cue sets you up for the person, like you know what storyline you're going into, and
Right.
then when you're in the attraction it takes you through all of the emotions that that person experienced
Kind of like,
in the story.
Journey into the Imagination, where you go through all the senses.
Right, but much better.
Right. Infinitely better.
Infinitely better than Journey into the Imagination. But it's an inside out game, which is really cool. Maybe it's like two attractions. Like the first attraction is you get the story and then you experience the emotions, or maybe you experience
Mm,
the emotions and then the story is revealed at the end because you're not sure exactly what you know what I'm saying. They have to figure it
yeah.
out. I don't have listen. I just thought of this while we're recording. So
I wanna add something. This is not related to our episode topic, but Inside Out 2 is available on Disney Plus now, and I watched it, um, not last night, but I think the night before. It was really good.
it is
I
good. Well,
think
I
did
haven't
you
seen
watch
it, but I've
it?
heard it's good. No.
I think that it absolutely held up to the, like, moxie of the first one,
Mhm.
and the way that the first one was relatable to me as a 10-year-old, as an 11-year-old, that frankly moved a lot. Um, like it was just I understood right like that movie was relatable to me when it first came out and although the second one isn't as relatable anymore because I'm not 13, I'm 19, it definitely does capture like how it feels to be 13. Like there's a line from Anxiety that like really stands out to me, so much so that I can quote it almost 2 days later. And Anxiety goes, "If I like what they like, they will like me." And it's really, really interesting because it's like that is what it was like being 13 for me, at least. Like, if you like what everybody else is liking, or if you like what the girls that you want to be friends with or the cool people are liking, they will like you. But that's ultimately just not how it works, right? I mean, it's a really interesting, really deep, but also very subtle message about like being yourself, and it's very good. It was a good
Cool.
movie.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch it. I've been watching Agatha all
I have
along.
also been watching Agatha. Okay, because I have also been watching Agatha. I'm in. I'm sorry, they sold me. They sold me. I'm all in on Agatha. We all knew I would be. Unfortunately, that's not surprising to anyone, but I'm loving it.
I am not where you are with it, but I'm not against it. I'm just kind of there. But
I
I'm not like running to the TV to watch it, but I am watching it every week.
I can't wait for Wednesdays. I can't wait for it to come out on Wednesdays. I really think it is nothing like WandaVision, and I think that's a good thing. I really like that. However, I do think it's a day late and a dollar short. I think it's a little bit too far out from one. Like, I had to go back, and I did last night rewatch the finale or the last 2 episodes of WandaVision to get myself caught up with what Agatha was talking about.
Right. Right.
We'll
Well,
talk about
there you
WandaVision, or I'm sorry, Agatha all
there you
along
go.
later.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the food category.
All right.
That's
Back on
that's what
track.
I wanna that's
Tangent
what I
over.
wanna do now. Yeah, that's what I wanna do now. I wanna talk about food. I think the obvious choice is Tiana's Place, but I am not going to pick Tiana's Place. I am actually going to pick a, French restaurant, like French American, what's it called, fusion moment, based on Remy the Ratatouille, or I'm sorry, Remy the Rat from Ratatouille. That's just what I think is the obvious answer. I think Remy, although Tiana does now have like the new attraction, and that's a really big deal, I just think Remy is a more relevant character that would bring me a little bit more success. Um, as a business owner that owns a theme park,
Mm.
Remy is popping right now. You got to get on the Remy train. So I'm going with the food moment with Remy.
I'm gonna go with Tiana's Palace, and
Tiana's,
yeah, Tiana's, because I've talked about my idea for Tiana's before,
yeah, you
where
have.
it's more of a show with live jazz music.
Right.
The challenge with a Tiana's themed restaurant, being from New Orleans
Oh, it has to
originally,
be actual New
the
Orleans food.
food has to be right.
Hmm.
They can't make, a facsimile of Creole cooking. It needs to
Right.
be genuine.
Right. You can't
And
just call something gumbo or call something jambalaya and have it be actually New
right,
Orleans gumbo or New Orleans jambalaya.
right.
Yeah.
You almost have to hire someone from New Orleans who's been doing it for a while and pay them to come do it. But I think the
Right.
dinner show, kind of in a hoop-de-doo style, where there's a dinner show and there's, whatever, I think would be great. So I'm going to go with the Tiana's um, Palace. I think it's
Okay.
called Tiana's Palace. That was the name of it,
Tiana's
or
place? I
I think
think
it's
it's Tiana's place.
Palace.
I don't know.
All right, we'll look it up
I'm
later.
just
Doesn't matter.
we'll look it up later.
We're one
Okay,
A away. It's either place or place with an A in front
Palace.
of the L. Right.
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 Okay.
So we've done food. We've done gift shop. We've done one attraction. We still have, you said, a restroom area or a rest area, and then
Mhm.
one more attraction.
One more attraction. I am going to do a Cars-themed pit stop for my rest area, and
Oh,
I want it to be a little bit I want it to be kind of like the Tangled bathrooms in the sense that that area has way too much theming for just a bathroom. Like, the tower is there. I'm not against it, okay? I love the Tangled area. But you know how it's like, "Oh, it's just a bathroom, like, why is there so much going on here?" Versus, like, all the other bathrooms are just, like, bathrooms. So I want a stationary slash, like, blinking and talking, like, Mr. Potato Head-esque Mater and Lightning McQueen animatronic to be in my pit stop, like, rest area, and I'll just have, like, a little, like, it'll be restrooms, it'll be them, and then maybe, like, a kid's, like, little playground, like, run around, just slide, situation.
Mhm.
Just like a place to decompress that is not a that's not the theme park. That's my take.
I think that's fair. I don't have a great idea for a restaurant, but I think that's a pretty ingenious thing, the pit stop aspect of it for the cars. I think that's it's pretty creative. I like that. Listen, I don't have a great IP that we could use for a bathroom area. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to throw something out there. Let's just say,
You could do
I'm I'm
Nemo
going to do a
because all drains
Monsters
lead to
Inc.
the ocean.
I'm gonna do a Monsters Inc. restroom where the doors to the stalls are all like the scare doors,
That's cute.
and maybe while you're in the stall, like on the wall, it's like a screen, and was it Randall? Randall sort of appears out of nowhere and stares at you, kind of scares the ish out of you while you're sitting there, so to speak.
That's so funny.
So I'm gonna go with Monsters Inc. bathroom with the doors and yeah, whatever.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go Monsters Inc. bathroom. All right, we have one more category. It's one more attraction of any kind, right? It doesn't have to be a thrill ride. It could be whatever attraction you want. It could be a show if you wanted to be a show.
Mhm.
So, what do you got, Mimi?
So my take is not a ride. As much as I want to keep a classic ride like Pirates, like I want to bring over an IP that already exists. Um, One of my criticisms of Disney World is that it is too hard to access all of the princesses. It's just too hard. It's like there is no one place where you can find all or most of them. You have to jump around, and I think that that makes it really, really hard for families with kids that want that. I wanted that. Like, if there was a place where we could go and just, like, see all if most, if not all of the princesses, that would have been amazing. Like, I'm not saying they all have to be in one place, I just mean, like, you can't meet Mulan in Magic Kingdom. You can't. Like, you have to go to Epcot, and I think that's a huge mistake. And so my last attraction is a princess parade that goes down the parade route, Princess Parade, and all the princesses
Hmm?
and all of their princes and all of maybe some of their side characters like the dwarves will be there, and it is a concrete place where you can see every princess.
All right,
And
a
sometimes
princess
maybe
parade with side characters.
yes, and sometimes maybe even for fun, we'll have, like, the non-princess, like, princess adjacent characters, like Mirabelle, like, she's a good, like, princess adjacent character, um, but yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay, so I'm just call it Princess Parade. We're gonna stick with the
Princess Parade.
princesses.
Yeah,
All right. My last attraction. So I did an Inside Out dark ride,
that's a good
trackless dark
idea.
ride. That was my first one. For this one, I think what I'm going to do is an idea that I've had for. We put a T-shirt out on our shop for this,
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say.
right? And I think they should do this because it would fit in sort of people like villains, and none of us have picked any villain stuff. I think we should build the Dark Side Dark Ride, a Star
Mhm.
Wars themed Dark Side Dark Ride.
That
And
is
again,
smart.
it could be a trackless thing. It could have a thrill element to it, kind of like Rise of the Resistance with the drop and all that stuff. But I do think taking you through the dark side.
Yeah. No, that's a
Mm,
good idea.
yeah,
That's a
that
good
seems my
idea.
idea. All right, so
Yeah.
you want to recap what each of us have picked so that our listeners can begin the process of determining who the best pick is. Did you write them down? I
Yes.
wrote them down
I wrote mine
too.
down. Okay.
Okay, so you want to pick
So
you do yours and I do mine.
okay, my ideal theme park looks like a Remy restaurant, a Sir Mickey's gift shop, a Cars pit slash rest stop, a Lilo and Stitch water based attraction, and the Princess Parade.
Okay, very good. And my park, whoop, I'm dropping the Disney assembled pen. My park will have the Tiana's Palace dinner show. It'll have Al's Toy Barn for the gift shop.
That's such a
It'll
good
have
idea.
It'll have a Monsters Inc. restroom. It'll have an Inside Out dark ride, and it'll have a Star Wars themed dark ride. I have 2 dark rides, so
Dark Side Dark Ride.
dark side dark ride.
Dark Side Dark Ride.
That's ours. So the listeners need to decide who picked the best 5. Mimi, how can they let us know?
Yes. Okay. So you guys can, and you will, please let us know who has the better theme park. In addition to answering this week's Disney trivia question, which is, what is the name of Nemo's teacher in the film Finding Nemo? So if you have an answer to that question and an answer to whose theme park is better, please send us an email, disneyassembled@gmail.com, or you can send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all at Disney Assembled. But if you guys want to support the show further and check out that Dark Side Dark Ride t-shirt, or even the t-shirt that Papa's wearing right now, which is the Property of Big Thunder Mining Company t-shirt, which is a good one, check out our TeePublic store. Just go to the website, TeePublic/Disney Assembled, or you can subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Disney Assembled. But all of this information and more is on our main website, DisneyAssembled.com. Make sure to go check it out.
Yeah, please do. I mentioned our YouTube channel earlier. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so, because you hit the little button, the little bell, you'll get a notice every time I upload a new video there. So you can get on our YouTube
Lovely.
channel. We'd appreciate that. And of course, the best thing you can do if you want to help us out, of course, all the stuff Mimi mentioned and everything is great. We'd appreciate that. The best thing you can do is tell your friends about the show and share it on your own social networks. Share Disney Assembled with them. And if you have the opportunity and you haven't done so already, or even if you have done it already and you like to do it again, a rating and review on your podcast player of choice is much appreciated, including Good Pods, where we have maintained a fairly solid hold, near that top 10 list for leisure podcasts. So if you want to help us out, if you're on Good Pods, share the show, rate it, and we'd appreciate that. So good stuff.
Love it.
All right. Mimi, virtual
Papa.
high five. All right.
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Disney fans of all sorts, thank you so much for listening. We hope that this episode brought a smile to your face, some extra magic to your day, and that very important sprinkle of pixie dust to your week. Again, thank you for listening, and until next time,
See you real soon.
Please collect your belongings, watch your head and step, and take small children by the hand.